Hello and welcome to the Gers TV for today's post-match reaction show, should I say, for Rangers 1, Hibs 0. Massive 3 points, Gordy, mate. How are you doing?
Yeah, ready for my bed after that. I think. I mean, that's. We said at the start, to be fair, we all agreed before the game that all we care about is 3 points. So that is, the biggest thing, and I'm glad, of course, of the 3 points because it's only our third win at Ibrox in a long time. So that's 3 out of 8 now at Ibrox. So. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It's the positives are. It's 3 points. Like, that's it.
Yeah, and that's it, and that's before the game. That's all I was hoping for, just get the 3 points, and that's what I'm going to be hoping for against Hearts, just get the 3 points, and against Motherwell and St Mirren as well, because we all know that this squad isn't good enough, and a lot of these players aren't good enough, and these are the type of results that aren't. I don't feel like they're papering over the cracks either, because everyone can see with their eyes that we need serious reinforcements in January, so. We just need to stay in some sort of race, I'm still not convinced. It all depends on January. If we can get some good players in January, then we could easily be in a title race. But we just need to keep winning, and that is what we have done today. But I thought we started really, really poorly. It was not a good start at all. What did you make of the start?
I'll go one further. I'll say Hibs were the best team in the first half.
Yeah.
Hibs just couldn't create any clear-cut chances. If it wasn't for that, if Hibs were more clinical up front, we kind of replicated that a little bit throughout the game. But I need to be honest and call a spade a spade. Hibs for large parts of the first half, Hibs were the better team. We started slowly again. How many times it's so frustrating when you're at home at Ibrox and we want to take the front foot on games, but we don't. We sit off. We're hesitant. I thought Max Aarons was absolutely dire throughout the game. Diomande, I mean, McGowan wasn't much better on the other side, but he was slightly better. Diomande played better in flashes today. I just don't know. There's just this weird. There's no fluency. There's no chemistry. There's no fluidity.
Yeah,
It's just we seem to be just fitting these individual players into a team right now.
Yeah, and for me, the players lack belief. They've not had great experiences from their time at Ibrox so far this season. They've dropped a lot of points at home, and you can tell that they're scared to drop even more points and let the fans down and to play under that pressure. Because every time we get the ball and we get the ball in good areas, we seem to just keep going back the way. Like we get to their final third, and before you know it, the ball is back in our final third. We're just passing it about the back, and it's like there's no one there that wants to take the game by the scruff of the neck or make something happen. Everyone's trying to play it too safe, trying to keep hold of the ball. Maybe that's them still trying to play under the way Martin had trained him throughout the whole preseason. But that's what's really disappointing for me. The fans that go to the games, and especially 8 o'clock on a Monday night, they want to be entertained. They want to see attacking football, free-flowing football, getting the ball forward at pace. But we're seeing the opposite, we're seeing very slow build-up. When we do get to the final third, a lack of ideas, lack of any sort of real creativity. And it's a poor watch at the minute. But like you said at the beginning, it's all about the 3 points. And Sai's just joining us now, so we'll wait for him to join. But like I say, just get the 3 points and then sort of move on. But to be fair, even though we didn't create an awful lot, I mean, we did have chances, especially towards the end. We had chances. We didn't really concede many chances either, which was a positive, because if we can keep getting these clean sheets, then and we can nick a goal or two, then we're going to win football matches. And I think that's the sort of philosophy that Danny Rule is going with, and that's why he does tend to, in these bigger games, go with the sort of 5 at the back, with 3 centre halves and McGowan and Aarons as wing backs. Do you think this is the sort of formation we're going to play, Gordy, at Hearts? At Tynecastle at the weekend?
I don't. I mean, at the moment, given the defensive situation at the club, is going to be forced into playing. You know, he's going to have to play a makeshift defence. I think we'll see Sterling play in the middle. We'll probably partner Fernandes, and you'd probably might even have Tavernier filling in the centre back again if he plays 3 at the back. So it's going to be difficult. I did say before the game I thought it was strange NCL being on the bench. I kind of predicted he would come on for the last half hour. He did. I think he did okay, which was good. Very good for him. So that tells me that the manager's thinking about playing him on Sunday.
Yeah.
Because I don't see any other reason for NCL coming on today.
And that's a tough game for him to come on to as well, you know, when we're only 1-0 up. You're playing against a Hibs side, you know, likes of Boyle and stuff up front, you know, physical players. It's not an easy game to come into, and he hadn't played since, I think, April during the last campaign. So no, it was good for him to get some minutes. Welcome, Si. How did you find the match, mate?
Sorry, I think we sausage supper for it and I'm dead dry, so I'm a pint of cola here. I thought it was quite an enjoyable game. Wasn't the best game of football, but the conditions probably added to that. But an enjoyable game. I thought Rangers played really good at times, a bit slack at times as well. I thought it was a bit strange, the substitutions. I don't know if you've spoken about it, but Moore and Barron were the best players on the park, and both of them being subbed at a vital part of the game. I thought it was incredible. Very lucky they didn't bite us in the arse, but in general, I thought they played really well, and it was Shermetti's best game in a Rangers jersey.
Yeah. If we go back to the subs, I agree. You know, when Moore came off, I was really surprised because he was our main threat. I thought, you know, you talk about Schmidt there having his best game. I thought Moore was outstanding as well for us today. You know, I feel like anything that we did that was positive was going to come through him. You know, so I was very surprised to see him come off, especially when Asgard's coming on as well. And you're thinking, you know, like, but what? Even when he did come on, what did he do in the 20-25 minutes that he had on the pitch? You know, every time he has an opportunity, I don't feel like he grabs it at all. So disappointed to see more off, but I feel like also that was down to the fact that he has had an injury that he is coming back from, and it was probably a pre-agreed you'll play 60-70 minutes and then you'll be coming off. So but yeah, I think he's going to be vital for us. If we can keep him fit, he's going to be a big player for us, is more. But yeah, and like you say, Shermetti, I felt like the things with Shermetti, his game for me was in 2 parts. I really enjoyed some of his link-up play and his hold-up play, which has been lacking in recent games. But his finishing, you know, just you have a striker that you've paid all this money for, and there was a couple of opportunities, especially the one where I think the ball went over the top. It was a ball to Moore, and then the ball sort of fell for him, and he snatched at it, and it like went quite far wide. And again, towards the end of the game, where he had a big opportunity to find the bottom corner, and he hit it straight at the goalkeeper. Those are the sorts of moments where I'm looking at your £8 million striker, and you're thinking you need to score those. You know, I can't remember if it was 0-0 or we were 1-0 up when he had that chance in the first half. I think it might have been 0-0. But those are sort of opportunities, especially then towards the end when you've got an opportunity to finish the game off. You need to take them. So as much as I feel like, yes, he was better today, he's still nowhere near what I want him to be. But, you know, baby steps, I suppose. What about you, Gordy? Did you enjoy Shermetti today?
No, I thought it was garbage, to be honest with you. Like, well, not garbage, but very poor. The fact of the matter is that it doesn't matter. You could have a decent game, but he's an £8 million player, and for an £8 million player, he's garbage, and he always will be for me because he's just not got it. And I'm sorry. Yes, he might have had a better game today, but I mean, I still think it overall was quite poor. But it probably was his best game for Rangers, Simon. You're probably right. It probably was his best overall game. But I think as a striker for Rangers at home at Ibrox, playing a team you should beat, I think overall I'd maybe give him a 5 out of 10. I mean, it's not okay. Maybe garbage is a bit harsh. We want to try to maybe being a bit dramatic there, but bang average. I'll rephrase it and say bang average. I thought he was bang. I think he's a bang average player who played bang average.
I mean, I'm not a big fan of him, but I thought he'd done a lot of great work off the ball and he won a lot of challenges. But the big thing for me was he's got a bit better and he doesn't hide. As much as he's not the best players, he doesn't hide. He still tries his best. But Miovski's out for a couple of weeks, I think, as far as I know. So somebody needs to fill that role. Unfortunately, it's him or Danilo. And I think it'll be him.
I hope. I mean, yeah, I hope he does well. Like, it's just the fact you just need to stack up the fact that he's cost us £8 million. I know it's not his fault. He can't dent about that price tag, but that's what it is. And I hope he proves me wrong. I thought Diomande had a better game. One of the best games I've seen Diomande this season anyway. So that was good. That was promising. Mikey Moore in flashes was good. Barron, I think Simon hit the nail on the head. I think Barron's been, I think we've always said it in the last few weeks, our best player recently. Yeah. So individually, a couple of good performances. And as we comment coming in by Scott Hammond.
That's true. Yeah, very true.
Yeah, Sterling coming back. Sterling was, set up a goal and cleared off the line as well. So it was great to see him back. So some individual positives. It's just as a team, we're still not clicking, and it's so strange to watch.
We got a clean sheet. I mean, that is a positive. But I'm very surprised that we got a clean sheet because it was like the Harlem Globetrotters the way they were playing in defence. They were taking big risks and then getting reflicks, and it worked and they get away with it. But on another day, they could have lost a few goals with the silly, needless. Even Jack Butland was doing it. Needless fanning about for nearly
taking too much time on the ball. Not getting the ball up the pitch, picking up it. We were like that all game. Even when we got into the final third, I said to Gordy at the start of the show, get to that final third. We seem to want to go back the way rather than really trying to find any creativity in the final third.
Also, apart from Moore, nobody wants to shoot.
No, he was desperate to score. I mean, his turn in, I think it was in the first half, second half, and he got a shot away. But obviously the defender had a good block on it. But if he scored one of those, what a goal that would have been. But he's the one with the potential to do that, and just want to see more of it. But I'm so happy with the way Moore's developing, and I feel like he's definitely going to be such a big player for us. But going on to Sterling, I felt like for me the man of the match was Connor Barron, but very close second would have been Dijon Sterling. I think he's had a great game today, especially considering how long he has been out for. But that's what you get from Sterling, though. He is Mr. Reliable. His problem is his injuries. If we can keep him fit, because we've said that for the last few years now, he can play again such a big part for the rest of the season. Because you look at him, as Scott says here, he saved a shot off the line. And then he goes up the other end and he creates an assist for Fernandez, working both boxes the way he is. So, great performance from Sterling and long may it continue.
Also, I thought that Max Aarons, I thought he'd not a bad game, and I think he linked up well with Moore, and they're both on the right hand side. I thought the two of them played well, but Aarons got a bad injury in the second half, or a sore injury. It might not be a bad one. Somebody's saying he's too weak on the ball. I'm not a big fan of Aarons, but I do think he's improved. He's definitely better on the right-hand side than he is on the left-hand side. That's definite.
Yeah, I think the only thing for me is when he actually goes forward, I feel like you miss something in the final third from him. Sometimes I feel like he's too scared to put a cross in. I feel like
confidence.
I feel like he needs to work on that. If he can work on that, and if he can really be that outlet on the right-hand side, especially if we're going to play this formation in some of the bigger games, then there's definitely a spot for him. I mean, we're not going to. Glenn Keane's followed this up by saying that he needs to go back to his club. We're not going to get rid of him in January, in my opinion. I feel like he's going to be here for the season because we've got other areas of the pitch where we really need to reinforce, i.e., centre back position, the left back position. We need some more reinforcements in the attacking areas of the pitch because, again, today, you struggle to see where the goals are going to be coming from if they're not coming from a set piece. So for me, he's going to be here for the rest of the season.
What frustrates me watching Aarons play is you watch him and you think there's a player in there if he just comes out of his shell and he gets himself into good positions. I think naturally he's got good football intelligence. He gets himself into good positions and he's got a good pedigree. It's just I don't know. I don't think he's got the right now anyway. I just don't think he's got the mentality for the shot because he gets himself into these positions and he does really well. But then, as you said, as we've all said, he turns back and then when he passes the ball back, then he fades out the move and doesn't want the ball back again.
Yeah.
For example, the second half, it might be his injury, but he just gave up. But I think that was the injury he got. But it's just frustrating watching Aaron's because there is a player somewhere in there. I feel as if there is. It's just that he's just very nervous and just the pressure's obviously getting to him. But it's a shame.
He's a nearly man. He nearly plays good. He nearly crosses the ball well.
Yeah, that's finishes. Yeah, pretty much it. Yeah, unfortunately.
But also,
if he just gets confidence, he could do well.
But then a comment here from Robert Binney, Tav when he came on, he was poor, which I completely agree with. So when Max Evans isn't even on the pitch and Tav's playing, so many times he's giving sloppy balls away.
I would go further than that. I would say Tav's completely finished, and that's shown now.
I think you're right. I think it's age catches up with everyone, but I think it's caught up with him now. Because he has been Mr. Reliable for so many years. He's played so many games of football for us since his time at the club. So, this is the time where Max Aarons is now. He's definitely going to be our number one right back for the rest of the season. I can't see it any other way. I can't see Tav recovering from this level of performance to go on to become our starting right back again this season. I hope that he does improve his performances. But even then, when he's on the set pieces. There was a set piece in a good area, and he just floated it in so high that it was so easy for the goalkeeper to punch away, And it's moments like that where you're thinking, the delivery's got to be a lot better. We get we get a corner 91st, 92nd minute, and it's like, well, why aren't we in that moment of the game playing a short corner and trying to keep the ball? He floats one over everyone out for a goal kick, and it's decisions like that. In big moments, and he's an experienced pro. Well, I don't know why he decided.
He's been a great servant for us. He's finished. It's as simple as that. You can see that he can see he's wanting to. He's what he's trying to do. He just can't do it. But we wanted the manager. We want a manager that was going to give everybody a chance, and he's doing that. That's one thing he's doing. He's getting every player an opportunity.
Everyone bar one. Bar Lyle Cameron. Lyle Cameron's still not got an opportunity. I don't know what he needs to do to get an opportunity, but I want to see him play some football.
He clearly doesn't like him. Yeah, I agree with that.
Because when I remember thinking when Russell Martin was in charge, that Lyle Cameron was for all the signings that Russell Martin made with Kevin Thirlwell, Lyle Cameron, the one that he didn't sign, was the one that stood out to me. But he's now not getting a single minute of football, which is a worry because I want to see, especially young Scottish players coming through and playing for Rangers and making a name for themselves at the club, and it's just not happening. What do you think, Gordy? What do you think he's got to do to get a start?
It's a strange one because he didn't even come on as a sub today.
No,
I mean, we think some of the subs that we made today, and you think yourself NCL is coming on, and he's taking Mikey Moore off, and it's like, but he's bringing. Has he featured at all under Daniel? Like, is he? I can't think so.
He was going to come on against Dundee, and then I think there was an injury, and then he didn't end up coming on. But he must have played no, he has come on. But I can't remember what game it was. But he's definitely come on.
He's only played bit parts. I don't think the manager likes him. I don't understand it. There might be something in training that we don't see, but everyone else is all kind of champion the boy. He was a good player when we signed him. I'd like to see him get a chance.
At least give him an opportunity. At least then we can turn around and say, do you know what? Maybe it's us that's wrong, the manager's right. But until we actually get us that chance, then it's just a strange one. We won't be able to tell, and it's strange. Every single other player seems to get an opportunity, but unfortunately for Lyle Cameron, he's not in the mix right now.
Mm-mm. I mean, I can see loads of comments coming in. I'm just trying to read them. That's the only one. Cameron's the only one who doesn't seem to be able to play. But again, there might be something in it. I really don't know, if I'm being honest. But I think financially we need to be playing young players. We need to start building from the kind of the youth department and the younger players in the team. But I really don't know. I don't know what's going on there.
The thing is, there's no one can tell me that Asgard is going to provide more value to the team than Cameron is. If you're taking Moran off there, I'd rather see Lyle Cameron come on in Asgard. At least he can get about the pitch a bit quicker. He understands the game. He can put a tackle in. I don't see anything from Asgard in the slightest. I don't see anything. I don't see anything. But the manager definitely favours him.
That's
But
clear.
does the manager favour him based on his performances in training, the fact that he's cost the club money, and we need to try and recoup some of that? Is maybe Lyle Cameron a longer term project because we paid a compensation fee for him. So maybe we're in let's see if we can get a tune out of this guy, then sell him for the right price, and then bring in the likes of Lyle Cameron. It's a bit of a weird way of doing things, but I can't see any other reason for him playing games other than the fact that he costs us money.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think any is. No, that's the problem. And until he gets a chance, I don't think it's fair for them to judge him either until he gets a few games. Because there's other players that have let us down all season and they still get regular games. So I don't think that's fair.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's just persistent with Asgard now because he thinks that at some point Asgard's got to turn good, but it's just not happening. Like it's not happening.
Maybe Asgard's good in training. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean they must. I mean maybe. I mean they all must be world beaters because.
Well, that's what Russell Martin kept saying at the start of the season. Yeah, they're good in training. Well, nice one, mate. But if you can't put those performances in training onto the pitch, then you're no good. You're no use to anyone. So,
aye.
But if we look ahead then to this coming week, I mean, it's such a massive win. But it's not just the fact that we are now 3 points closer to those above us. We're putting a bit of pressure on Wednesday for me. You know,
definitely.
They know that they have got to get a win on Wednesday because otherwise that gap will keep dropping, especially because us and obviously Hearts play each other on Sunday. Just putting that pressure on and then seeing what have you got? What have you got to bring to the party? Are you going to be up for it? And I feel like I'm happy, not just for the 3 points, but the fact we're able to ask those questions now of them lot because too often they've been getting away with it. You know, they've not been asked those questions and they've been able to go into these games, these difficult games, because Dundee United away is a very difficult game, but they've been able to go into them with no pressure whatsoever. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that unfolds on Wednesday, you know, but at the same time, we just need to focus on ourselves and just keep winning games of football. Hearts on Sunday. Are you confident after this performance that we're in a good shape to go for it? Because they've only lost one game all season so far.
It's going to be a really hard game if I'm being honest. What I will say is it's a clean sheet we got today. We are improving every week. Hearts aren't improving. They played well against Celtic last week, but apart from that, I don't think they're improving. But they're a quality team. They're well managed, and they all seem to be playing for each other. If we don't beat them at the weekend, I would say that they have to be favourites to win the league. But if we beat them, the league is completely opened up again.
Yeah, I agree.
So I was going to say, you made the point that Hearts have only lost one game this season. So we've only lost one game this season in the league, which is incredible when you think about it. Our problem has been all these draws, but we've only lost one game this season, which is incredible, and it's crazy to think. But you know, given the season we've had, if we beat, I know it's a big if, but if we beat Hearts, we're 6 points behind a game in hand. Granted, Christmas.
If we beat Hearts, the title race is on. In my opinion.
The only thing I would say is against Hearts, we'll need to take our chances. But we can't have this no one to shoot and an extra touch in front of goal and things like that. They might only get a couple of chances. They'll need to take them. They'll need to be deadly. And who? That brings us to a subject alone. Who's going to take your chances? Because there's no many players in that team that will.
But we're in the fortunate position, though, that, in my opinion, all the pressure is on them, right? Because they are top of the table. You know, it's easier being the hunter than the one being hunted. So, and we have to approach that game like that. They're favourites to win. They're top of the table. We can approach the game where we sit back and play the five at the back and look to hit them on the break with the pace of the likes of Gassama and see how that goes and work on our set pieces, etc. with the new set piece coach and try and nick a goal. But it's these type of games where they know if they win this game, that's a massive step forward for them. And it gives them that belief that they can go on to win the title. But if they lose it, the exact opposite will happen, in my opinion, and they'll end up losing more games. After they beat Celtic, they then drew against, was it St Mirren, the game afterwards, and then they struggled to to win another game.
Yeah.
They had a number of draws after that.
But that's an interesting comment from Robert Binney. It's came in there. I think it's Robert Binney. Hearts beat us. The team that beat us, but it was the decisions that caused the game. The handball that led up to the goal. So we were we were really unfortunate that day. So that's it's a good point.
It's going to be some game. I think the atmosphere is going to be absolutely electric. Hearts are going to be up for it. Rangers will be up for it as well. I think it's going to be an absolutely cracking game. It's something that's probably the biggest in the league anyway. I mean,
was it Sunday afternoon?
Yeah, Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, 1:30 kickoff, I think.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, to think about all the troubles we've had this season, given the fact we were not scoring goals with a dodgy defence, if we get the win and we're only potentially 3 points off the top going into the new year, like that, for me, that's a great achievement by Danny Rowe. And right now, listen, if we win every game, if our strikers don't score another goal all season, but we win 1-0 every game, I don't care.
Yeah.
That's what it matters.
Yeah,
that's literally what it matters.
It's going to be a very interesting transfer window in January.
I think that if Rangers would beat Hearts and we're in striking distance, which we will be, I think Kavanagh will say to Rowe, go for it. I really do. We're
going to have to, because we have that golden ticket at the end if we win the title. No one else has got that. We've got that Champions League group stage guaranteed money if we win the league this season because of our coefficients over the previous seasons, etc. So if we win a league, we get fit that Champions League. The owners will know that, and the owners will have to try and push the boat out to get the players in that is going to help us achieve that, because we will not get a better chance than this season to get Champions League group stage football if we win the title, because after this season that'll be gone. So we need to.
And also, as I said earlier on in the earlier show, the pressure was all on Rangers a couple of months ago, because we were doing shows and are we going to be second bottom in the league? Are we going to be third bottom? Are we ever going to get a fourth in the league? We were never expecting to win 2 games in a row. Well, that's now the way Celtic are. I don't know why they get rid of their last manager. I really don't understand why they get rid of O'Neill. Never kept him for a couple of weeks, but it won't matter if they win on Wednesday night. They still want rid of their manager. They want rid of their board. So they're in a real mess just now, and this is the time to take advantage of that. If we hadn't got the result tonight, it would have been heartbreaking, to be honest, because we can really put pressure on them.
What I would say, guys, very quickly, if that's okay. Hearts' next game after us is Hibs away.
Right, okay.
So
we've got Celtic.
We could. I mean, their goal difference is quite a lot more than ours. I think they got like 21 goal difference to our 10, maybe. But
we get Motherwell before the Old Firm, so
we got Motherwell and St Mirren at home before the Old Firm.
Right,
after
okay.
the Hearts away.
So I mean, I'm not asking. Football's one of these games we could genuinely, like, if results go away and we play well, even scraping 1-0, we could potentially be top of the league come the new year, the Old Firm. That's crazy to think about it.
And a lot of credit for that has to be the manager. Again, I don't think any thought he was the first choice, shall we say, for the job. Most wanted Gerrard, but he's came in and he's only got the players to work with. He can't buy players until January. He's got to get a tune at them, and he's certainly getting that. And he has gave them all an opportunity. But he's also, I like the way the style of football we're playing now. I like what he's trying to do, but fair play to him.
What I like the most, though, is that he is playing to win games of football. He hasn't got this philosophy that he's hiding behind, saying, well, we're going to play like this and eventually it's going to come good. Because we had that with Russell Martin and it was a disaster. So now we've got a manager that is prioritising results. And if you look at the other half of the City, Martin O'Neill came in and he prioritised results. And I was listening to him this morning on Talk Sport. And he was literally saying it's all about winning. Just win, just win, just win. Whereas this new guy is coming for them. And he's literally Russell Martin 2.0, talking about style of play and playing this 3-4-3 and all this other nonsense. It doesn't matter. It does not matter a single jot if you don't win games of football, because you're not going to get the time to see the end product that you're trying to work towards. Because if you're not going to win games of football, you're going to be out the door. So they are now going through what we went through at the start of the season, but we need to capitalize on this and we need to make the most of it and win games of football so we can go top of the league. Because at the minute, it's still annoying that they have a bit of a cushion on us. I want to see that evaporate.
But back to what I'm saying, if it's not even unthinkable, but if Celtic were to lose 4 games in a row and they lost in Dundee on Wednesday night, they will explode. Their support will explode. Their organisations, whatever you want to call them, it'll be real toxic, and they're not going to change it. I don't know why. I don't really understand it, to be honest, because they've got everything going for them. They've got the media, they've got the referees, they've got the SFA, everything that they need to go for them, and yet they've even got sections of the ground with no police in it. They've got everything you could want as a support going their way, yet they're unhappy. So I don't get it, but I don't really care. What I do know is if they don't win on Wednesday night, all hell will break loose with them, and the pressure will be on big time. Do they keep their manager or what? I mean, I don't know what you would do there if you lost 4 games in a row with your new manager.
It's unprecedented, I think. I mean, you saw like the likes of Ange Postecoglou get sacked after like 8 games with Nottingham Forest. But like, could they really go? Could they really sack them if they got beat by Dundee United? Could they really go and sack their manager? I feel like they're gonna at least give him the January transfer window to try and bring in a couple of players that might suit his system more. But I think by the time they do eventually sack him, because I feel like they will end up sacking him this season, I'm hoping by that point it'll be too late for them, and we're in a bit of a distance.
The only people that's benefited from him so far is Toys R Us. They've sold out of Connect Fours. It's incredible.
Well, he'll hopefully by tomorrow night he's connecting 4 losses. Or by Wednesday night he's connecting 4 losses.
Has he actually got that tactics board out again? I've not really been paying attention.
No, it's that's a shit joke. That was he's got paper now. He's went to a notepad, which shows you that he's actually he would been better keeping the I don't know what you call it, a tactics board. They would have been better keeping that, but the pressure's on the guy. Pressure's on him big time, and he looks like a cartoon character, and everybody's making fun of him. There's also been things where a game at the weekend, I think he took a player off and he didn't realise. I think they were taking a player off, but he never decided to take the player off. It was assistant manager or something.
Well, I think there's something with Kieran Tierney. Yeah, like he came over and then he was going to come off, and then he went back, and then there was a conversation. They weren't sure, and then eventually came off anyway. Something like that. It wasn't a good look anyway. And it's things like that doesn't help when you're under pressure.
It's incredible. When we were going through the Russell Martin days at the start of the season, I never thought it would backfire and change so quick.
That's what it's like. It is. Honestly, it's like watching, us at the start of seeing Russell Martin. It looks like he just looks like he's got a Russell Martin vibe. Even the stuff he's saying is very, very similar to the stuff that Russell Martin was saying after the games. So incredible. I mean, absolutely incredible that we realistically, if we win the next 2 or 3 games, we could be sitting level on points at the top of the league. Like it's crazy. That's football. That's what football is sometimes. And momentum's a funny thing as well. We just put together results. That's all we need to do. Get into January, win the games, and that's it.
And if this is what Danny Hill can do just now with these players, what will he do against his own players? Because I think I don't think he's got to be wanting his own players, isn't he? He's going to have guys in mind that he would want at the club that would suit his style.
And I feel like he has a really good eye for a player as well. So I would trust a lot more his judgment, especially with being at the clubs, being like a data analyst at Leipzig, etc., and being a Bayern Munich and German national team. He will know what a good player looks like, not just technically good, but what a player who plays for the top level of their league should be like, and should have what their mentality should be like, and their character, all that sort of thing. That's hard to put a number on. It's hard to get that sort of data. People's mentality, and I feel like he could tell that in a player. So I'm looking forward to seeing what players we do bring in. I mean, we're linked to that young lad from Norway, 20-year-old from Tromsø. I think
I would go the easier route, and we've spoken about it 100 times in here, but I'd get big Gogic in at the end of the season. Gogic and Sterling as the centre halves. The two of them would be fantastic for Rangers. He knows the game. For some reason, the guy gets rubbish all the time. His move for the second goal at the weekend was the pass he done was outstanding. He's a great motivator, and he knows how to win a ball. So I would be going for him in the January window. I think you get him at a good price.
I don't know why we don't go for these type of players. Just to increase the floor of the squad. because he's not going to be starting for us week in, week out. We need a top centre half to go and do that, but someone to have around the squad, his leadership ability, his ability to organise the defence, someone who's going to take no prisoners, clear the ball, not mess around with it. Something like that is what we need, and a good character to have around the squad, rather than keep going for these young players that hopefully one day will make us money. But you need experienced leaders in there as well. So yeah, I would go for him, especially after his performance at the weekend. What about you, Gordy, mate? Would you fancy him?
As I said at the start, as I said a couple of weeks ago, if you'd asked me at the start of the season, I would have maybe laughed for some reason. But if you ask me right now, I'll take him in a heartbeat. Just because it's because I think that we're missing that dominating personality at the back. We're probably missing that dominant personality in the whole team at the moment. I don't think Tav's, much as I like Tav as a player, I don't think he's got that dominant leadership. I think Dave Sterling's got it a little bit, and that's part of the reason why the defence was a bit more solid today. But Gogic, he would bring that into the squad, and a couple of players like him. And I don't see why we don't do it just for 6 months. We see if it doesn't work. It's not a lot of money we spent.
And just to back that up, Gordy, we haven't replaced Balogun, was probably a better description. Yeah. Balogun was probably the last kind of leader in the defence where if it was a 50-50 ball, you would trust him to win it, or at least come out with a good challenge. We don't have
for
that.
Sure. And that's what Gogic and Gogic kind of figures will do. And as I say, like the biggest compliment I can give the guy is if you'd asked me 3 months ago, where I maybe said no, but he could come in the Old Firm Derby. He could come in the Old Firm Derby and dominate that defence.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Like he definitely could. He could just slot right in there, and and at the very least, we would get a leader for 6 months. At the very least, we get a decent player, good defender, but at the very least, we would get that determination and that leader at the back. So, yeah, for me, it would be a good move.
Because we have to fix the defence anyway. We're not going to have a defence next season. We need to get new players. So.
Yeah, but that's why January is so important, because we've got so much to do. There's so much work needed on the squad. We haven't got time to waste. We've been hearing rumours about Joe Rothwell and Sheffield United. He could be off straight away, 1st of Jan. And I feel like Joe Rothwell will be off, and that young guy, 20-year-old from Tromsø, will be in the door. Which could potentially be a Raskin replacement if Raskin gets sold in the summer. So we get him in 6 months early to let him adapt to the league without the pressure of needing to play every week, and then he'll be someone to look out for next season. But so much to do, so many positions that need filling: left back, centre back. Need some more wingers. Another striker, because the ones we've got aren't scoring any goals. So it's going to be a big few weeks, months, but a lot of football to look forward to, and hopefully a lot
certainly.
Of
well, back tomorrow night, guys.
Yes, I'll see the studio tomorrow, I'm sure, and we'll do our usual Tuesday night special.
Mm-hmm. But we got the points. That was the main thing. We spoke about it before the game. Let's go there and get the points. It was frozen. It was bitter cold. Mm-hmm. Wasn't the best conditions for a game of football. Sometimes you just need to win the battle. We won the battle. The pressure's off Rangers now. The pressure's on Celtic, and at the weekend, Jay's right. The pressure's on Hearts. Mm-hmm. They've got to perform.
Yep, absolutely, and fingers crossed. We are closer to the top of the table by this time next week. So thank you all for joining. Just a quick comment here from Glenn Keane. So tomorrow, 7:00, lads. Yeah.
Yep.
So live.
Yeah,
tomorrow 7:00. So please join us then for another live show. But for now, that is it from us. We will see you on the next one. Thank you for watching. Another 3 points for Rangers, onwards and upwards, and we'll see you in the next one.